Have you ever looked at your guitar's tone knob sitting there at 10 like it's bolted down and thought, yeah, that's where it belongs? Well, I'm going to make a confession first. I was that guy. For years, I kept that knob pinned at 10 because I genuinely believed it gave me the loudest, fullest sound. I never thought about expression. I thought it was basically a treble thief. Well, think again. Because some of the greatest guitar players in history have been using that knob like a secret weapon, and most of us never noticed. My name is Albert Tejera. I've been a guitar player for almost 60 years and an electronics engineer for almost as long. I'm now retired and I've taken that passion to designing and building custom guitars right here in my guitar lab. So when it comes to what actually happens inside that control cavity, well, let's just say I've had some time to dig in. All right, so let's get into it. Now, let me show you what I mean because this isn't theory. Let's start with Steve Morse. Guitar Player Magazine, November 2025. Morse demonstrates how he anchors his pinky finger on the tone knob while he's actually playing and rolls it continuously mid-phrase to create a wah-like effect. No pedal, no foot switch, just that knob. He literally says on camera, turn it off, hit the note, and turn it on. That's not a tone setting. That's a musical instrument inside your musical instrument. Now, Clapton took a completely different approach. You know, that singing vocal tone he got during the Cream years? The one everyone calls the woman tone? Well, basically, he rolled that tone knob all the way to 0 on his Gibson SG, all the way down, and cranked up the amp. The knob that most of us think kills our sound, he used it to find his signature voice. Later in his Strat years, he parked it consistently around 2 or 3. Not 10, not even close to 10. He was sculpting a mood, not chasing maximum output. And in case you don't know, a tone knob works by cutting out the treble. This in turn reduces your guitar's volume a bit. Joe Bonamassa has a masterclass where he demonstrates getting a full range of tones from a Les Paul using only the volume and tone controls. No amp changes, no pedals, and he says flat out, the tone knob on your guitar works. Use it. That's a guy who plays $50,000 vintage guitars for a living, telling you that the answer was on the guitar the whole time. And they're not alone. Carlos Santana's entire warm singing tone, that clarinet-like sound that made Oye Como Va feel like it was breathing, it comes largely from his neck humbucker with the tone rolled back. Jeff Beck, he was a master at manipulating the tone knob and using his fingers to change the EQ of his sound. He could make his guitar speak. Jimmy Page referred to managing his guitar's onboard dials as the lost art of tone control. Instead of relying on a compressed or boosted signal from pedals, he constantly balanced the dual volume and dual tone knobs on his Gibson Les Paul. These aren't accidents. These are deliberate expressive tools. So the question isn't whether the tone knob is useful. These guys just proved it. Now, sure, there are plenty of famous guitarists who've built their entire sound around a pedal board, and there's nothing wrong with that. But they've got to do a lot of tap dancing to get there. This is just rolling a finger. It's something to consider adding to your bag of tricks. The question is, why doesn't yours work the way theirs does? Because if rolling your tone knob from 10 down to 7 just sounds muffled instead of musical, that's not you. That's a bad component. And it's a $3 fix. So stick around. So here's what's actually happening inside your control cavity, and I'm going to make this fast. Problem number 1. The capacitor in your tone circuit determines which frequency bleed to ground when you roll the knob down. Most factory guitars use the same cap that came standard in 1954. A 0.047 microfarad cap on a humbucker cuts way too much mid-range. So the moment you move off 10, it sounds like you threw a blanket on the amp. Switch to a 022 cap, and suddenly you have a smooth, useful taper across the whole range. That's what Clapton's guitar had. That's why it sang. Then there's pot taper. Most tone pots are linear, meaning the audible change happens in the last 20% of the knob's rotation. So you go from 10 to 3 and you hear almost nothing. Then from 3 to 0, it falls off a cliff. An audio taper pot spreads that change across the full sweep. Now every position between 1 and 10 is actually usable, the way Morse uses it, the way Bonamassa demonstrates. But here's one that gets overlooked: the pot value. Most guitarists know that humbuckers pair with 500K pots and single coils pair with 250K pots, but that applies to your tone pot too. Not just your volume. A 250K tone pot on a humbucker guitar loads the pickup harder. It shifts the resonant peak down and darkens the whole signal, even at tone 10. So if your Les Paul or 335 sounds dull straight out of the box, check what value tone pot is in there. Factory cost cutting happens. I've opened a brand new guitar and found the wrong value pots installed. And here's the one that surprised me when I first dug into it. Most people assume that at tone 10, the circuit is completely out of the way. It's not. Because the capacitor is still connected to ground at every position, including 10. Depending on your cap value, you're still bleeding high-frequency signals even at full, which means you've basically never heard your pickup completely unloaded. Your guitar at tone 10 is not your guitar at full voice. Now, I did an entire video on this exact mod that fixes this. It's called a no-load pot modification. And it literally cuts the resistive trace inside the pot so that at position 10, the pot is physically removed from the circuit. Zero loading, zero bleed. That's your pickup completely unleashed. I'll link it right here and in the description. It's a free mod, no parts required. But before I show you the fix, if you're finding any value from this content and all the other content that I produce, please click like and subscribe. It tells YouTube that this video is worth sending to others. Also tell your friends about it. That also helps us get the word out. So now, the fix itself, straightforward. You don't need to rewire the whole guitar. Here are 3 things that you can do. 3 things in order of impact. First, swap your tone cap. On a humbucker guitar, go to a 0.022 microfarad. On a single coil, 0.047 is the right value. But a good quality film cap makes a noticeable difference over a cheap ceramic disc. They are typically accurate to only plus or minus 20%, but some are even worse at plus 80 to minus 20. But now your Orange Drop, your Sprague, your Russian, any of these are way more accurate and they're under $3. Don't fall for the vintage PIO capacitors. They were simply the best tolerance capacitors of the time. Yeah, the 50s. And the reason people say they are warmer is because the capacitance drifts upward with age due to the old construction that they had back then. A high-quality modern cap is the fastest, cheapest change you can make to a tone circuit, and the one with the most immediate impact. Second, if you're already opening the cavity to do the cap, replace the tone pot with an audio taper. And while you're at it, confirm that you've got the right value, 250K for single coils, 500K for humbuckers. And while you're there, check your volume pot too. You might be surprised. Basically, you're already in there. You might as well get both right at the same time. Now, the whole sweep from 1 to 10 is now usable. It's territory instead of a dead space until the last click. And third, if you want to go all the way and actually hear your pickup completely unloaded at position 10, that's the no-load pot mod that I mentioned earlier. I've already done a full video on it. It's free, no extra parts, and it's linked at the end of the video. That's your pickup completely unleashed. Please note that this was my first video on YouTube, and it may sound a bit rough or techie, but it's what it is. So, the next time you pick up your guitar and that tone knob is sitting at 10, ask yourself whether you've actually ever used it. Because B.B. King didn't leave it at 10. Clapton didn't leave it at 10. And once you fix the three things that we talked about today, you won't want to either. I mean, you can tap dance on pedals if you want to change your sound. But what if you want to change your sound after you change your sound? Huh? Thanks for watching all the way to the end. If you've got questions about cap values or pot specs, drop them in the comments. I read every one. And if you found this useful, share it with a guitarist who's been leaving his knob at 10 their whole life. They'll thank you. And as always, keep playing.